Hi everyone, Kyle Farx here, hoping that you can come see the full Paprika series June 16th at the Woodbury 10 at 6 p.m. Come see my niece and my fake son.
Okay.
And Kayla.
And Kayla, sorry. Okay.
You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show.
Wait, I'm gonna put my phone on airplane mode.
That's wise, unless you have notes you need. I would never bring a drink into a movie theater because
Never?
I specifically love the service staff at the many movie theaters I go to that have bars.
Didn't you last night?
Especially last night. But
Did you
imagine?
Did you smuggle in like 4 last night?
Yeah, I only drank 2.
Oh, I only count. Okay.
I did.
It only
have
counts
4,
if I drink it.
But that second one I had, did you catch when I opened it and it went Old Faithful? And then I was like the whole time trying to keep myself from.
What movie was this?
We saw Hokum last night, and we're not going to cover it, but Nick and I just wanted to see it, and we've been debating it all day because this show is just a manifestation of how our actual relationship is.
That's cool.
Could
I'm
be.
excited to hear it.
Welcome to Movie Baiters
One day.
with the Farx Brothers. I'm Kyle.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Nick.
He's going back to his name, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, it really only did last 3 weeks. Okay.
And I'm going to say we're here with Ash Webb, but I'm going to give the first question to my dear brother, Kirk.
Well, technically, it's not the first question because this happens last, so.
Fuck!
So go ahead with the first question, Kyle.
Ash, you're a multi-hyphenate. Of your multi-hyphenates, what is the one that is I guess give me your multi-hyphenates in most important to, whatever you feel like going to.
Multi-hyphenates in terms of my
You're a
career.
writer, you're a songwriter,
Okay.
you're a performer,
Yeah.
you're a model, I don't know.
Okay. In terms of what I like the most, there's an order, and in terms of what I do the most, there's an order.
You can give 2 orders if you want.
Cool. So, what I like the most, improv comedy, singing, writing, creative strategy. We'll keep just those 4.
Oh,
In terms of what I actually do the most, or like actually make money off of, writing, creative strategy, singing, improv comedy.
All right, so you make money off of all 4 categories you've given.
I have now and then over the years, not consistently, not every time I do, yeah.
We wrote with a guy that was taking classes from you for improv,
really?
Before the pandemic.
Who was
Connor
it?
Connor McCarthy was taking classes with you.
Oh yeah, he was on. He took some of my classes, but he was also on a team that I coached. Very funny guy.
5 swipes.
Yes.
Was Merritt on the team when you were?
Who?
Merritt West?
Yes, he was on the team.
Okay. So we know a couple of guys you've coached.
Yeah.
What's wrong with them? No, I'm just kidding.
wow.
Sorry, Merritt and Connor.
Nothing anymore after I coached them.
That's the right answer. So we like to start with the most recent project. Is that you have 2 songs in Small Town Girl?
Yes, that is the most recent project that's come out to the public now.
Yeah.
That's already went through post, and that was a lot of fun. That was a feature film in the Twin Cities Film Festival, and I wrote 2 songs that I do love to sing myself, but the main actor in the movie played a 14-year-old girl and obviously has a much younger sounding voice than I do. And she also happens to have a terrific voice. And so she sings in a talent competition in the movie. So she sang the songs that I wrote.
Oh, and is the idea that she wrote the songs?
Yes, she says she wrote, like in the movie, she's like, I'm 14 and I wrote this song, and then they play another song during the end credits of the film too.
So did they come to you and say, hey, do you have any songs, or did you go to them and say I had songs?
They, as in Bill Cooper.
The director?
Yes. And I would say who he is, but I think anyone watching this podcast probably has heard of Bill Cooper.
Acting coach in the Twin Cities. We're an Upper Midwest filmmaker podcast.
Yeah, no, he came to me and asked me if I had any songs I could write for the movie, and I said yes, and he sent me the script. I read the script, and voila.
How'd you get to know Bill? How did Bill know that come to you for songs?
Yeah, well, I first met Bill years ago. I think maybe like a decade ago, because I took an acting class from him, and then I went to LA for 5 years, and then I came back from LA, and I reconnected with Bill, not by taking one of his acting classes, but actually by renting out his acting studio where I taught improv comedy classes and met Connor McCarthy. And so I did that for about 3 years, kind of tag teaming his acting studio, renting it out. And yeah, so he really kind of became a colleague and a mentor for me.
And so he knows that you sing?
Yes, and he knew I sang when I took his acting class, because my experience was always in singing. And then I kind of took acting classes, one, because I thought it would be fun to act, and two, because I thought it would help me with stage fright for singing, because singing was always my first love. I was never really a theater kid. I was always a singer kid.
I like that.
And yeah, and so he knew I sang. I had a couple of music videos I had made with friends on YouTube when I took his acting class like 10 years ago. So yeah, and then I post songs here and there like on my social media, and so Bill saw those and reached out to me.
I guess I have seen you singing on social media, but I don't honestly, my relationship with social media is, I've got to go post stuff for the show and for
me
JK
too.
Productions. Okay, so you relate to that. Are you, and I know this one's for you, born in LA?
Yes.
What, are your parents from there, or why is someone born in LA?
LA. My dad was born and raised in LA. My mom was born and raised in Manila, which is in the Philippines. She moved to California, I think when she was 21, give or take a couple of years, and met my dad and had kids. And then, you know, when I was like a toddler kid age, my parents were like, we would rather raise a family in Minnesota, and they left LA, and, you know, so I was raised here, but I was born in LA.
What was their first experience with a Minnesota snow like? Do you remember? Were you old enough to remember that?
My dad's family has a cabin near Lake Superior, so he had already been to Minnesota. But my mom, who basically grew up in heat and rain in the Philippines her whole life, and it was a huge shock for her. I mean, my mom, even just going to LA was a shock. She told me, I remember she once said she didn't even taste, or she hadn't heard of yogurt. So just little things. I'm sure it was a bigger shock for my mom.
Did she say the first time, oh my God, I pooped so hard? Because I have to force my
What do you mean?
to
What?
eat yogurt. I have to force my children. Well, one of the children has to eat yogurt. One of them eats it a lot, and it's so that they'll.
Food?
Yeah,
All the probiotics, yeah.
Yeah, and what's her name? The Halloween lady.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. So I'm sorry, it's what I think of.
So
and it's the kind of show where I'd ask that.
Your daughter's like a toddler version of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Of course, yeah. Constantly running around.
Be careful. Hopefully not her character
In
Halloween.
Oh, being chased by a serial killer?
Yeah.
Oh, well, she survives.
Depends on the timeline.
Yeah, depends on the timeline.
Oh, she dies in H2O? Or
died-
the sequel
Spoiler.
to H2O?
She died twice in that franchise and survived the last batch.
I don't even remember.
Are you a non-horror movie person? I'm going to ask questions about
Yeah.
you,
But
okay.
I will read the most terrifying books.
Like?
It really doesn't make sense that I can't watch movies that are scary.
Can you watch them with people?
Yeah, but I mean, even Harry Potter, when Voldemort comes out and the Death Eater's eye,
That was
So
scary.
the thing is, no, but
Wow.
I don't like jump scares. So even if the creature I'm looking at isn't scary, just anything that jumps out at you. But I think the scariest book I read was recently, and I'm probably going to butcher the name because it's either The Nightmare or The Night Crawler, something night. But I just finished reading it a week ago. but I've read 2 books since then. So
Okay. So you read a lot. You're reading.
Yeah, I'm kind of crazy. I go through phases, so I'm not always reading a lot.
Okay.
But if there's ever like a month where work isn't really busy or whatever, I can read a book a day. I started doing that during COVID because I had heard Reese Witherspoon read a book a day for her Reese Witherspoon book club.
Damn. Right.
So I wanted to see if I could do it. So for a month, I read 30 books in a month. And it was during COVID. I didn't have a job then. So if you think about it, wake up at 9 in the morning and I would have all day to read a 300-page book. So it wasn't that crazy. I mean, and then just over time, your brain kind of naturally trains to skip over article and filler words. You kind of just naturally learn how to speed read. So I'm probably a faster reader than I was 6 years ago.
Yeah, you got to be if you use any muscle. Is that a muscle? Brain? No, I guess it's an organ. It's the brain.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, but your eyes then too.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget where I read this. Funny, I know that's kind of meta because we're talking about reading, but I read that the reason why reading is one of the healthiest things you can do for your brain is because I think it's like a 7-step process. You're looking at symbols, you're decoding those symbols into letters, which turn into words, which turn into sentences, which form meanings, which create idea, which creates an image, which makes you feel an emotion. So 8 steps, but so quickly, your brain is going through those 8 steps when you're reading. So that's why it's one of the healthiest things to do, which I thought was fascinating.
I need to read hard copy. She's just
hard copy?
Because I listen to.
No more listening. Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to books and it's not considered reading.
Listening isn't reading.
That's kind of our day and age now, right?
No, listening to books.
Lena Dunham reads her own book. I'm on chapter 3.
Okay.
Famesick. You weren't curious. Were your parents in the arts, or when do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right.
So my dad, I shouldn't really say he was in the arts. My dad is a very creative person. He's also very intellectual, but he was an amateur magician, and I think it was after college in California, he did magic shows with one of his friends, like at birthday parties and stuff like that. He's actually a very good magician. And his father, my grandpa, who was not, really a creative performer at all, but ended up getting to be like in a couple episodes of Nip Tuck just because he was a heart surgeon.
Your grandfather was?
Yeah. And they needed someone who had steady hands, like an actual surgeon. So he got to do a couple episodes.
I've definitely seen him then, because I watched every episode of that show.
Really? Okay.
I don't know why.
But yeah, so my dad's very creative. My dad's very funny. People love talking to him, and he's a great magician. My mom, her family was actually in the movie industries in Manila.
Okay.
My mom's mom, Isabel Silos, she was a pretty well-known singer in Manila in the 1940s and 1950s.
Oh.
Her job was singing for actresses who could not sing. So they would lip sing, and she was I forget the name of what you call that, but that was her job. She would sing, or in movies.
Disney dubs?
And, yeah. So she would, sing behind the curtain and do that. And then my mom's dad, my grandpa, was a producer and director, I think, too. But yeah, he was in the movie business. My mom had an uncle in Manila who ran a variety show.
Oh, okay.
Kind of have you guys seen the movie Hairspray with Zac Efron and?
Yes.
The variety
musical
show
remake?
where, they have dancers, in the 1940s, they'd have a dance act, a magician would come on, and it would be so my mom would dance and sing on that, one of those daily shows or variety shows.
Okay.
Yeah, so very definitely she comes from that, even though she doesn't do it now.
Were you a single digit age when you were I want to go into the arts professionally? Throwing that in there, I'm sure.
Totally. And again, it was always singing. I mean, I I liked acting and like making home movies with friends and stuff like that. But singing, I always wanted to be a singer first. And then it just seemed like when I was in LA, there were more opportunities to become an actor. It kind of felt like with singing, at least my experience, it kind of felt like with singing, you kind of just have to like be at an open mic and get noticed or like form a band or something. Whereas with acting, there were 8 auditions you could go to a day in LA. And with singing, there's not really auditions to like be a country star or to be a singer unless it's the TV show ones like American Idol, The Voice, but
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any of those? Or tried, or gotten in the, oh my gosh.
The Voice, I auditioned for The Voice back in 2016.
Good year.
And I made it to the round right before the television round. So
Okay.
there's like 3 rounds you go through before, and I waited in line in Chicago with, I think, like 15,000 people.
Jeez.
So I waited in line for about 8 or 9 hours.
What do you do the whole time? Vocal
Sing.
warm-ups or something?
Yeah, we
Oh.
would do vocal warm-ups, and I feel like I was kind of antisocial because I was so nervous about losing my voice, though. Like if someone would be like, hey, what song are you singing for your audition? I would be like, a country song. And I didn't really want
Wait,
to
are
talk.
you a
Yeah.
country singer?
I love singing country.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a singer, but I
Uh-huh.
like country.
Who's a country artist that you would compare yourself to, or that you like? Either is fine.
I'm an alto.
Okay.
So
Alto.
I like deeper, big voices. I like Martina McBride.
Uh-huh.
I like Sugarland.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I like,
Are they the pontoon people, Sugarland?
oh,
the
that's Little Big Town.
Damn
But I
it,
love
okay.
Little Big Town. I
Okay.
like those deeper voices because I love singing Motown stuff. And I love
Oh, now you got me.
soulful
Okay.
music.
I
I
like
like
Motown.
Etta James. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up like, because my mom and her family, I don't know, they kind of like that stuff. And I was always drawn to like Whitney Houston and just bigger voices.
Okay.
So,
So you're in high school, you're like, I'm going to go become a singer, and then you go to New York for college?
college, I went to New Jersey
Okay.
and then Massachusetts for sophomore year.
What? How does one...
So what happened was my grandpa, the one who was in an episode of Nip Tuck,
Yes, the heart surgeon.
yeah, he had the funds to help pay for a private liberal arts school that I wanted to study music at in New
Okay.
Jersey.
Cool.
So he was really gracious and helped out.
Yeah.
And then he's a great guy, rest in peace, but he did something kind of shitty a couple weeks before my sophomore year at that school where I had already made a bunch of friends freshman year. I remember my dad telling me literally a couple weeks before, like it was like the last week of August. And I remember my dad saying, yeah, Grandpa's not going to pay for sophomore
Anymore?
year. And, you
Damn.
know, so we can't afford it now. And unless you take out a loan and do all this. And
Oh, wow.
so basically, I didn't want to lose all the friends I had already made. So I thought, well, I want to stay on the East Coast. So I found a public state school in Massachusetts that had rolling admission.
Okay.
So there was no deadline. You could apply a week before the first semester.
Got it?
Got in. That was a bus stop school the whole time. I knew that it wasn't a great school for me.
Okay.
So I went there sophomore year. And then I did like it. I had good friends there, but I just wanted a bigger school that had more options for classes. And so I ended up transferring to the University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities. That's where I graduated from.
Okay.
So
We've had a lot of Twin
I
Cities grads.
moved. Yeah.
And then you went to LA afterwards?
Yes. Right. So the summer between junior and senior year of college at the U, I caught the acting bug, and because I had taken a class with Bill Cooper like that spring.
As part of school or like something auxiliary?
With Bill Cooper,
Yeah.
I think I Googled like acting coaches in Minneapolis, and
Okay.
he was the first one. I believe that came up, and I signed up for like a 3-day intensive, 4-day, I don't know, something like that. It was a scene study. I took his class and I liked it. And then a few of my mom's relatives migrated to LA from the Philippines.
Oh,
so
cool.
I was lucky enough that I had an aunt who lived in LA. She said, yeah, come stay with me for the summer and you can take acting classes in between your junior and senior year. And, you know, so I did that, and I took different acting classes in LA and made friends. And then I kind of, you know, got lucky, and I'm very grateful for it. But within like 3 months, toward the end of the summer, I booked a role on an MTV sitcom called Faking It.
Were you faked being pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay, I was
What'd you
trying to
point
find
down
that to
there?
watch
What,
it.
what was that? What'd you point like that?
That's
That's when you're pregnant.
well,
I saw something else from this angle. Looked pretty low. All right.
Did you ever see Junior?
Yeah.
Where the baby came out?
Yeah.
I watched that whole movie, and that's how I learned about C-sections.
I've never seen that
Oh.
movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger gets pregnant.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like the one where he's twins with Danny DeVito. Because it's like, that's not true.
Wait, I've not. So is it like a sci-fi movie?
No, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
He like intentionally, he's like a scientist, and he puts a baby inside of him.
I see. Okay.
He puts a
So
womb-
he's able to legitimately get pregnant.
So he puts a conceived baby with his wife inside of himself.
How does he get it in him? Like,
I don't think they
through his
explain it
that much,
asshole,
yeah.
or like,
Well, that's the thing is, I thought like, is it just going to explode out of there like
Yeah.
Alien, or is it going to have to come out
where
the
would
butt?
it come out? Yeah.
They did a C-section,
C-section solves
Okay.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
and that's how I learned about C-sections.
He doesn't have a uterus to grow.
Yeah, the baby.
They put like I think they put something inside of him,
Okay.
like a synthetic uterus, to put the baby.
Okay.
Like you should really
okay.
watch the movie Junior.
No, maybe I will.
Because it's like once you have that reference point, like a man pregnant.
Anything can happen. Yeah.
Yes, there
Wow,
are.
so the
pregnant men.
healthcare is all good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Pregnant
Yes.
men.
Right.
There it
Healthcare is
goes.
all figured out.
Yeah.
Speaking of, when do you? So that gets you in. Does that get you in the SAG then?
That got me SAG eligible. So if I paid the $3,000, I think it was at the time,
Yeah.
then
Dang.
yes, I could have been
What you
SAG.
made on the job, maybe? Wait, was it a pilot or a whole series? I was trying to figure this out while looking for it.
I was only in the pilot.
Okay.
But I think it ended up running for, actually, I don't know, a couple seasons, a few
Cool.
seasons. But yeah, that was my first job. I think I had maybe booked like a short film or something before that, but I remember not having a resume when I walked into the audition. I remember thinking, there is no way I'm gonna get this, so I'm like not even really gonna try.
You were loose.
And I just walked in, and I didn't have a headshot or resume. I was like, oh, I'm from Minnesota, and I hadn't even done a play in middle school or high school. I was not even in a play. I was just someone who,
But you performed singing in front of people. I'm
right,
assuming.
I
Yeah,
had performed singing, and I also, and this might sound kind of silly, but I do think I learned a lot about acting just by making like home movies with friends in high school that we'd shoot. Like, I just think, because I still was acting. And I remember going on YouTube and watching all of the Disney Channel auditions of like Selena Gomez and like Hannah Montana or Miley Cyrus. And I would try to like emulate them. Like I just remember doing like little things in my bedroom where I would pretend I was auditioning for like Disney Channel shows.
Did you watch those shows?
I watched Disney Channel until I was like 19 years old.
Okay, like, so I'm trying to figure because
Like, I watched That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
yeah. So Lizzie McGuire is my cutoff. Because like I
was too old to watch Disney when I was still watching.
I had a younger sister. Do you have younger siblings?
One younger sister, one older sister.
Okay, I had one younger sister, which is like it's a little bit, foofy to be watching Disney as a person becoming a man.
Sure.
As I saw it. But Lizzie McGuire, she's my age.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, she was also a cute girl.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know a lot of guys who liked Lizzie McGuire.
I just want to get this on camera. I found her a lot more attractive pregnant than I did as
all right.
a child.
You want that on camera?
What a specific weird thing to
Yeah.
say. I found her way more attractive when she was with child.
As an adult. Because I remember, like, I've never gone back
right.
and watched Lizzie McGuire.
Well,
And
but you were a
Oh.
kid
No,
when
I
you
know.
watched
I'm fully aware of this. I just like bringing up that.
Yes.
You know, it was weird. Like that's when I realized I was no longer a child anymore. Is when I saw Lizzie McGuire pregnant. And I know she has a real name, but it doesn't matter. It's Lizzie McGuire.
Right.
She was pregnant.
Yeah.
They should have done the darker reboot.
Okay.
They were going to. I think it's great you did that. And then, did
Yeah.
you get a resume after that?
I did.
Okay.
And I even met with an agent at a coffee shop to help me make my resume look good. Because I remember he was so baffled. He was like, well, I don't understand. What did you do because the reason why I got this agent was because I did the MTV show.
Yeah.
And then he goes, well, what did you do before you got this MTV show? And I said, oh, and it's funny. He at first, I think, from how he was talking to me, thought that I was on a reality show, which makes a lot of sense because MTV is known for reality shows. It's not very common. Like, I think the sitcom Awkward was on MTV.
Yes.
But other than that, and Faking It, what I was on, MTV is a lot of like prank shows and reality shows. So when I told him I was a pregnant 16-year-old on MTV, I think he thought I was on like the Teen Mom show.
Yeah, because there was a parody of that show, right? Yeah, okay.
So then when I
got
explained to him, no, it was a sitcom about high schoolers. Like it was like Degrassi, but on MTV. Then I remember him saying, oh, well, that's great. What did you do before that? And I said, oh, nothing. I said, I did one short film and a student film. And he goes, well, how'd you do the MTV show then? And I said, well, I walked into the audition and then I did it. And
just got it.
He was like, okay. He goes, we need to make this resume look better. You can't just have acting class MTV show and nothing else. It looks weird.
What do you use to fill that in? Like your college degree or something? Is it in communications or no?
No, it was sociology. But I did some home movies with friends that I said were in post-production because technically they had been for the last 15 years.
It counts.
So I did that. And then more stuff started rolling in. I did a couple of indie feature films. And then I really got into comedy. I was on a UCB house team in LA. That's Upright Citizens Brigade. And I really only took improv because I wanted to make more friends. And I thought improv would be fun. But I was actually really, really shy in improv at first. Like I wasn't shy talking to people in social settings, but in an improv classroom, I felt really awkward. I remember I used to do this thing where like I would ironically detach from a character.
Oh God.
Like if I had to play an old lady, instead of fully committing to being like, oh, like I'm an old lady, I would kind of do it ironically where I would be like, I would kind of do it ironically where I'd be like, I'm an old lady, because I felt too awkward to really get into it. But I got over that after like a year.
Oh.
And then I ended up performing on a team with UCB, and I performed in New York with UCB.
Because you were in CollegeHumor. We watched 2 of your sketches, or at least I did.
From UCB. So I did a UCB show. Okay. And from there, in the show, I got referred to CollegeHumor from someone who had seen me perform, who was friends with someone on my improv team.
Got it.
They were like, who's that girl? And then I got CollegeHumor. And yeah, that's when I realized I liked comedy way more than any other acting. Because the agent I got after the MTV show would send me on good auditions, and I would skip them because I didn't want to miss an improv show I had in some basement theater in Hollywood that I wasn't even going to get paid for. And so that's when I realized, okay, clearly I like improv more if I'm willing to skip this audition. And I remember my agent being like, yeah, the casting director said you didn't show up. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry. I didn't have time to email. I said, there's a lot of traffic on the 101. Yeah. And I was trying to get to this theater. He goes, for what? And I said, well, to do an improv show. And he goes, how much did it pay? And I said, well, it actually cost money for me to get to perform on the stage. And he was like, what are you doing? Yeah. So yeah, I think when people go to LA, it's very easy to get caught up with you start making friends with people who have like been in movies or been guest stars on like big shows. And even if you're not super passionate about acting, it's hard to not want that because you kind of feed off of it. So I think I thought I wanted it. And then after a time I realized, oh, maybe I'm more passionate about just performing live. Because that's what I like about improv. Even doing dramatic improv, it doesn't even have to be funny necessarily. I love a live audience. Love it. I also love that I could wear sneakers and yoga pants and I don't have to sit in a trailer and get hair and makeup done. I can look like a plain Jane and be any character I want on stage. Yeah.
Compare the culture of Minnesota improv to the culture, the coastal improvs. I imagine New York and LA similar, or do you see a difference in how the improv people interact?
Huge difference. And this is a tricky question for me to answer because if I answer one way, my improv LA friends are going to hate me. And if I answer the other way, my improv Minnesota friends are going to hate me. But no,
You're not worth it, Minnesota improv people. You're not worth it.
They're very different. And here's what I'm going to defend LA for a second because I hear a lot of people say, oh, there's so many divas in LA. It's so competitive. And
they're also professionals.
And everyone's out for themselves and everyone's a diva. I will say that was never my experience in improv.
Sure.
If I had been in like the more serious acting scene, maybe. But I think what people often forget is that everybody who moves to LA, it's like you're leaving from being a senior in high school to a freshman in college. You are now a small fish in a big pond again. And they're all transplants from Iowa, South Dakota, wherever. So they're all just trying to make friends. So everyone in LA was actually very nice to me. None of them were divas. They were all just like me. They were like, oh yeah, I'm from a small town in Nebraska and I want to be an actor. So none of them had friends either. So we all became friends. And I think also in Minnesota, if you get an improv show anywhere, it's a big deal because there aren't a lot of theaters out here. And so the totem pole for like...
There's a lot of, there's more theater seats per capita here than in LA, technically.
Oh yeah,
because it's
actually...
here that it's New York, then here, then LA.
Yeah,
or
actually
like that,
I did
Chicago.
read that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't say theaters, but...
It is a big deal when you get onto a...
But what I'll say, yeah, like the biggest thing you can do in Minnesota for improv is here, right? Whereas the biggest thing you can do improv-wise in LA is here. And the biggest thing you can do improv comedy-wise in New York is SNL, which is here.
Yeah, okay.
So because the scale is so much larger, if I had a friend in LA book an improv show, like they wouldn't even talk about it. Because booking an improv show in LA is like, you know, here because where you could go is so much bigger. But in Minnesota, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in an improv show. And it's a big deal because it genuinely is a big deal because there aren't as many opportunities to book improv shows in Minnesota as there are in Los Angeles.
Yeah, because people aren't keeping their muscle warm for an actual industry.
Right.
Unless you're like a theater person. Well, here's something you might have noticed.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a silo between improv people and theater people in the Twin Cities?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
did you say?
totally.
I heard that.
I remember when I coached improv, it was always very easy to tell the difference between a theater person who is taking my improv class versus an actor, like a TV movie actor taking my improv class versus a stand-up comedian taking my improv class. They all do it differently.
Were there any like just off the street, like that's all they wanted to do? Because I ran into those people too when I did improv for a while.
Not in Minnesota.
Really?
Not that
feel
I
like
remember.
There are so many of them. Well, maybe because they're coming to your class, that's showing initiative.
Right.
Like
But-
when you, I found like a lot of people were, you know.
When
just,
I
"I'm
was
just
in
doing this."
LA, I had a lot of friends in LA where their main goal was to become an improv all-star. What they just wanted to be a professional improviser who made money doing live shows. Like they didn't even want to do TV or acting. And I kind of fell into that camp for a little bit myself because I just loved live theater. I loved live unscripted theater.
All right.
And that's improv. But yeah, I guess to go back and answer your previous question, the difference I think mostly in Minnesota improv and LA improv is like the totem pole for like steps to success for improv in LA goes much higher because there's more and more bigger things you can do in LA. Whereas in Minnesota, you book an improv show, what's higher than that?
Well, Kristen Schock might be sitting in the audience. She might book you for a Target commercial.
Right.
I don't know.
No, but I mean,
Sorry, Kristen. They're supposed to have you in the show sometime.
If you take out if you like for just improv, so pretend there's no movies or television, like.
Oh.
Right, because in LA there's opportunity. You could get an SNL audition, or and even just an improv show in LA. It's usually, depending on where you are, it can be a huge audience. So.
I used to go to ASCAT.
Yes, and so I think that's why a lot of the people I met in LA were very humble. Like, contrary to what most people think, they weren't divas, because it's almost like we knew our place in LA. We're like, okay.
You're getting your ass handed to you by the economic system, and then the way other people's success looms over you.
Right, but in Minnesota, there isn't an ASCAT show. There isn't that. So in Minnesota, you only have to climb 3 steps to be a big player in the city, whereas in LA, you have to climb 10 steps to be a big player in the city, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
Okay, good.
Well, speaking of big players, I guess we could ask the last question of the night. Who would you recommend we ask to be on this show?
I would say my friend Kaylin Burgle.
Oh yeah, I know Kaylin.
Because she's very funny and very engaging to talk to. So she'd be great on a podcast.
Cool.
Great.
She's already been on a few podcasts, so.
I know. She's been on Ellen's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice to see you, Alan. All right, Ash, thank you for joining us.
Of course, yeah. Thank you guys.
Have a good night. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN. Join us next time for another bait.